I'm a massive horror fan, be it books, movies, or games, but I find that it's only really with games that I ever feel scared when I'm enjoying them. In books and films, you're detached from the action, as you're watching things happen to the other people. With games, it's happening to you. I prefer the old school horror games, one where it's pitch black and you only have a flashlight and some simple weapon to defend yourself. Unlike some games such as Fear and Doom 3, where being armed to the teeth takes away some of the panic and fear. So here I present to you my favourite classic survival horror games, ranging from across the PC and consoles. I hereby give you my top 10 creepiest games. 10. Phantasmagoria uses live action actors in a 3D rendered environment, and for some weird reason this adds to the creepy atmosphere of the game. A lot of time is spent exploring the environment, but the creepy background music always suggests that something is going to happen, making the simplest actions fill you with dread. There are some awesome gory death sequences as well near the end of the game, which are worth sitting through just to see alone. Even the innkeeper's voice creeps me out a wee bit. 9. Theresia is one of the very few scary games on the DS that aren't in Japanese anyway, so when I first played it I was somewhat skeptical. After playing in the dark at high volume though, it certainly delivers enough scares to sleep with the light on. Ominous background music serenades you around gruesome locations, filled with traps that can be set off by the simplest of actions, and the creepy whispering effects are somewhat disturbing. Definitely a game not for children. 8. I'm a massive Resident Evil fan, and I have to admit, the series itself it really isn't that scary, although there are some key moments in some of the games which are a bit creepy. They're just generally great fun to play. The reason I include Nemesis within this list is simple though. Nothing fills you more terror and panic than walking to a new location and hearing stars. That's Nemesis coming to fuck you up, and that can happen at literally any point in the game. Then comes the agonizing choice of whether to constantly carry a load of health items or heavy weaponry to take him on. I just ran like a pussy. 7. Siren Blood Curse is the latest installment of the Forbidden Siren series. It takes place on an island in Japan, where the sky is blood red and the locals' pastimes include demonic rituals and being possessed. The Mind Jack ability allowed the player to see through the other people and enemies' eyes, which was an integral part of the gameplay, and nothing made you shit yourself more than seeing yourself appear in your enemy's field of vision and have them running screaming after you. The weird throat chanting at the start was freaky as well, creeping you out before you even had time to begin. 6. Dead Space is set in space, surprisingly. You play an engineer boarding an apparently a deserted mining ship where the crew have been transformed into hideous aliens. The creatures are reminiscent of the alien from John Carpenter's film The Thing and can only be killed by removing their limbs. There's nothing scarier than chopping off something's head and it still keeps trying to kill you. The creepy audio logs left by the crew members help to inform you on what happened and add tension by filling the otherwise silent corridors with their loud distorted sounds. 5. Calling is another Japanese title that makes clever use of the Wii Remote by acting like a cell phone so that you can receive phone calls from the dead. Walking around empty schools and hospitals with just a flashlight is creepy enough, without ghosts phoning up every 5 minutes to tell you that they're coming to get you. Having to manually open doors and cupboards is especially nerve-wracking, as you never know what's on the other side. It could be anything from dead people to a room full of dolls, and dolls are freaky enough as it is. 4. Clock Tower has easily got one of the creepiest intros to any game I've played. The music that plays throughout is eerie and has a way of getting under your skin. The game consists of walking around a spooky mansion, looking for your friends, and avoiding the crazed guy with a pair of giant scissors trying to kill you. Examining any object can lead the protagonist going into panic mode, with anything from arms grabbing you from a mirror to having the crazed guy jump out of the bath where your dead friend is hiding. Depending on the order you do things can also mean a completely different outcome each time you play, so you can never be sure what will happen next. 3. As previously mentioned, I kind of like the whole live actors in the 3D environment malarkey, and the Seventh Guest was one of the pioneers of this style of game. Creepy music, creepy guy taunting you as you try to solve creepy puzzles, creepy cutscenes. This game made it impossible for me to sleep when I was a kid. While it might look a bit outdated at the time, it was cutting edge, and the simplistic graphics and the ghost-like actors or sometimes jerky animation add to the creepy atmosphere. 2. Back with the Japanese again, and this time we're taking photos of ghosts with a Matic camera in Project 02 Crimson Butterfly, or as it's known in the US, Fatal Frame. Normally in a game like this, it pays to keep your enemies as far away as possible. In this game, the closer they are, the more damage the camera will do, so you can see how having that freaky ass ghost coming right up to the screen can make you shit a brick. Another creepy aspect is when you sense a spiritual presence, you can take a photograph of the seemingly normal background, only to have the photo develop and show a ghost staring back at you with some creepy expression. 1. Anyone who has played it will agree that when played properly, that is, in the dark and high volume, that Silent Hill is one of, if not the scariest games ever made. The grainy, dark and foggy environments, the hellish creatures, and the world signifying your descent into the disturbing other realm all contribute, but the reason behind the success of this and other games in the series is the work of sound director Akira Yamaoka. He created all the ungodly sound effects and music, along with the main theme, which is on par with Clock Tower as one of the creepiest theme songs ever. Even in listening to the soundtrack alone is creepy enough. Well, that's it for my top 10 creepiest games list. I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I have making it, and if you can think of any other games which should have been on the list, then please feel free to comment, as I'm always on the lookout for a new game to make me shit myself. Keep an eye out and hopefully I'll have some more similar videos up soon. Thanks very much.